Welcome to another week and a new month. Monday, the 2nd of Jan. My throat's still a bit sore from being ill, but I am much better from Friday, which is good. So we'll start off with let's start off with liquidations today. We're literally right up on the pocket, 106.3, 106.2 of the major liquidations. We kind of taken a little bit and have made a new high. So I think we're going to take this local stuff really locally at the moment. The other stuff, if we keep falling down, I know there's some. If this loads, maybe I should turn off my VPN. The stream's okay, right? It might be because my VPN's on. Let me turn that off. Better, better. Um, yeah, there's some real thick stuff at 1094, 1095, and up above, and we have some like locally uptrending buy section, so it's quite simple. Like we just need to hold the low, and then we can target sort of the higher liquidations. It's quite likely that we're gonna range for a little while if there's no like world event or something. But yeah, it's looking pretty decent to maybe go and take that stuff at 1095. I'd say. In terms of the order book, if we just have a look, we do have some stuff that are stacking just above at 105.8 and 105.9, basically 106, and we're basically right on the volume node, which is quite interesting to see. Um, can I go on a higher time frame? Is this coin class legend is only 1 hour, right? Is it only 1 hour? Yeah, and then the thicker stuff above us is still in place at 109 and 109.3. So that stuff kind of lines up with this liquidation pocket, which would be quite interesting to see. I think if we do get that, we maybe get like a wick into 109.5 and then a failure of this sort of this high here at 109 and then come back down. I think that kind of makes sense to me at the moment. I don't think I can. I'm not sure if I can change this. It's only 1 hour. That's a bit strange. It can't be. Anyway, oh no, no, it's down here. Sorry, I'm tripping. Yeah, very local at 10. We'll call it 106k, holding us down. So we'll see if that gets pulled or gets absorbed. It'd be quite interesting to watch that in the short term, especially as it's Monday today. As for the long to short ratio, we talked about on Friday that we were above 1 to 1, so more longs in the market, and yeah, we absolutely just nuked it over the weekend. We kind of nuked it through some of my levels as well, but we'll talk about that a little bit in the in the stream. But yeah, we're coming down a little bit. We kind of want to see this, yeah, settle around 50-50 at the moment, and then yeah, we'll probably just range in between maybe like 110 and 100k. Kind of makes sense for now. I don't really see too much else, although I haven't really looked at the charts that much. So yeah, that's it for the data Ruski, or what little data Ruski I like to look at the start of every session. Let's change this, and we'll change this. And we'll go to the the bitty, the schmitty, the gritty. So I think it was on. Must have been on Thursday where we were on the Coinbase Legend and we were talking about this value area node on the hourly. We said if we don't get above here, we're going to nuke really, really hard. And we literally came and tested it perfectly and then commenced the nuke. And then this is about the same time that all the long started coming in, right here. And yeah, we kind of just nuked a little bit lower into support at the moment. So far, we've actually held the low here, but we've just had a rejection of the weekly open. So, like I was saying just before I start press record, it's quite simple at the moment. Hold June, and we might start to see a climb up into the liquidity. I think it was at 1095, where we also have the short orders, and yeah, conversely, we'll break above the weekly open, and then we could see that as well. To the downside, make a new low of this, and it's probably looking like it wants to roll over and bearishly retest that and go slightly lower. But yeah, I mean, it's quite simple right now. I don't really see this like breaking just at the moment. If you didn't catch any of this stuff, we had very simple retests on the way down. So let me just get my brush. I obviously personally I'm not trading that like at all at the moment, basically. But bearish retest here, bearish retest here. We actually kind of had one just here, so you could have maybe tried to short there, but yeah. Anyway, this is the 4 hour as well, so probably easier to see on the 1 hour. Right there. That was the one that I was talking about on stream, which would have been the best short, and we've also created overlapping supply, and this is where the short orders are as well, and the liquidation pocket. So kind of all just lines up there, and yeah, like that. You can long this, you get a free ride up to here. Free trade, basically. Free money, basically, is what I'm saying. So yeah, in the grand scheme of things, let's sure, we'll have a look at the weekly first. So the weekly hasn't broken down yet. Let me just take off the auto charting tools as well. This one's the daily high swing. This one's the weekly, as you can see. I might as well just put this one on just for the sake of the weekly as well. So very simple. Close the weekly out below here. We're gonna go here. Hold the weekly there, and we're probably going to see higher because we have made a new high. So still looking okay for me. And yeah, I'm still not really scared to start bidding alts. I think our patience is finally going to probably pay off again quite a lot this week. Just out of interest, is anyone like thinking that this is the top? Like this is the weaker higher high, this is the divergence, sell in May, walk away sort of vibe? Because like I do see the argument. I definitely see the argument for it. It's it's definitely a bit cooked, but to be fair, I just can't get bearish on this chart for me personally. But yeah, weekly close, not looking too bad. Highest ever actually. Highest ever, yeah. Even though, sorry, it was the highest ever actually 2 weeks ago. But yeah, we we're still above the weekly swing, so not too much to say on that. DXY also looks like it's breaking down. It had a good close last week, and this weekly candle's absolutely just tanking off the side of the cliff at the moment. I don't really check the DXY as much as I should have nowadays, but yeah, it's looking like it wants to go lower. Actually, these are super bearish retests, and yeah, I can see that. I can see that falling a little bit more. In terms of, I actually haven't looked at the VIX in ages. VIX is just looking like that. Nasdaq, you would expect this to be an area to potentially pull back, as I drawn on here, but we were actually holding all these levels really nicely. So again, I just don't see any. I don't see many bearish signs in the price action on like a slight like daily and weekly time frame at the moment. Obviously, the oscillators are super cooked, but yeah, it's for me still looking not too bad. Just a little local breakdown, little local pullback, nothing crazy. Let's have a look at total weekly close. Yeah, some very local breakdown on the weekly. We closed lower than there. We're kind of holding some local. Okay, that's the yearly open, so I don't even need to mark that on. Kind of holding the weekly open at the moment. If we break below the weekly open, I think we know where the next level that we're probably going to go is, and it's here. And it's also untested, so maybe a test of in there. And then if we do a lower high, and we don't break that high after we do that test, then yeah, it's looking actually pretty rough. But I kind of think we will, just because we have these hidden bull divs on the weekly across the board. Interesting though. Just out of interest, yeah. I mean, it's definitely stopped in the 786 to 886 pocket, hasn't it? Cool. On the daily, we have actually made a new low. Oh, whoops. Just about. So yeah, I feel like if we close a like another daily candle below there, let me mark that out. We might even just break the yearly open and come back to May. But I don't think that would be the end of the world. I think that would probably be quite healthy for the market. If big if, we're still kind of holding relatively well. So yeah, nothing to panic about for me at the moment. The altcoins are doing a little bit worse, just a little bit. This also looks like a much more bearish chart, and it wants to come back to May like a lot faster. And we kind of started doing it. If I take these off, back here when we did that test, and then we also did another test right here. I'm not really sure what that level is, but you can see that we like this swing is obviously going to be mega resistance. And yeah, we're probably going to come somewhere in there. We're kind of on it right now, and then if we fall lower, we'll come back into like the base of the move, and we'll basically do no, no brush please, and we'll basically do something like that, and then hopefully we get a bounce and break. Like I said, could just be a little longer drawn out summer. Nothing to worry about though for me. USDT dominance is actually gaining, so this actually kind of is actually a bearish signal. I told you that I don't see much bearish things on the charts. This is actually something that is kind of bearish. This is a very clear gain of that, and we could definitely see a test of this higher. All in all, though, this is still a bearish chart for me. Did we actually? Yeah, we've made a new low from here. Mid and low, so any of this should be a bearish retest to go lower unless we hold June on that. So yeah, we'll see. Looking looking interesting though. That's kind of adding fuel to the theory that we might see a slightly bigger pullback. Bitcoin Dom, it just did it just gain? No. So this daily candle will be a gain, actually a very big gain, the one that we don't want to do for alts. It was kind of looking like it still wanted to reject over the weekend, but have since, sorry, excuse me, has since gained. So yeah, I mean, 69. What's the next level that I've got on this? 70. 70% is still on the cards for Bitcoin Dom. Even though we bear dived on the weekly, it doesn't have to play out just yet. Let me just check the chat. Make sure everyone's good. No, he doesn't see it yet. Neither do I. I can imagine lots of sideways, 90k retests, etc., but not the top. Yeah, I mean, if we just go back to this chart, like a 94k retest would kind of start freaking everyone out, especially if we like did some closing under here and then regained it. I imagine like the shorts that we would get if we closed under the yearly open would be fucking like it might be at 70%, and then we just do the last leg to 120 or something. But yeah, I'm still kind of looking at alts as well. Sorry, I actually just showered in your ear there. Yeah, so Bitcoin Dom looking good. ETH Bitcoin actually still holding. It's looking fine. like I said, might just take a little bit longer than predicted. Not that long actually. Maybe just like all of July. But yeah, still holding the swing, still looking fine. I think if we get a retest of the Q2, that's possibly going to be it, and then we might like start arcing up and just do something like that, which would be ideal for alts. Conversely, if we do get like Bitcoin DOM going up to 70%, this is probably going to do a full retest of the lows before we like maybe do something else. But yeah, that's the general outlook. In the local price action, this daily candle is something that you definitely want to watch, like 100%, because we are breaking some stuff on it. And even this 4-hour candle actually, because we were holding price very well. If I just take that off, all the way up until this 4-hour candle that we're on right now, and that's going to close in about 2.5 hours. So definitely keep an eye on that, guys. And that could be, we've also, well, we actually made a new high there. So if it can flip back up, it still might be looking quite good. Conversely, if we close below, yeah, might be looking quite bad. But yeah, that's the general gist. We'll have a look at some of the things that I'm been stopped or possibly quite down on at the moment. I might have to get out so like manage my risk, but I've been like I've been really busy, man. I wouldn't really recommend trading if you're like traveling / on holiday. If you're on holiday and you're chilling in a nice resort, yeah, of course you can like put a few hours aside to trade, but I'm like I log on for the stream and then I just like go out, or I'm like out all day and stuff, so it's not really that good. But hype actually looks not too bad. If this can hold June, it's probably going to do that and retest the high, and then maybe we'll see if we hold and do like a macro high or low. If not, there's probably a Stuber short at the previous weekly open as well. So definitely some nice trades coming up here. Just long this, have a stop below here. If you break, fine, short that, back down to here, to the gigalong zone that I was talking about. That's the gigalong zone, by the way. I'm going to be gigalonging it in between here. And then if you do the gain of the weekly open, you can long it up to here, and then draw your fib, and then get the short back down. Very nice. Actually, very, very nice. Probably my favorite thing at the moment. What else? Rock your body. Come on, rock your body. What's all of this, by the way? Okay, I should probably just delete that. So yeah, like another thing that I want to draw your attention to is some altcoins are still holding their lows just about. Is that holding its low? Well, I kind of broke below it, but it's holding its 886, so it's definitely something I'm interested in bidding, but only if the risk is right. So for example, if I were to bid it here, I mean, I could maybe do 2x and put a 4% stop. Then it would conform with my risk management strategy, but it's slightly a bit risky for me, and we are bearishly retesting levels, so I'm a bit indecisive on it at the moment. If I had more time on the charts, I would be able to like watch the PA develop on the hourly a bit more, but yeah, it's looking a bit. It's just looking a bit neither here nor there. You definitely could. It's like it's in the pocket, but I would be way more confident if it didn't close below this low right there. But I'm sure that we can find something that conforms to my my rules. my strategy. It just looks like we want to do one more, doesn't it? Into here. That's like the perfect. Sorry, my voice might do that a little bit today. Just coming in with that just looks like the perfect bearish retest. It also is the daily weekly open as well, and we also did the bearish retest of June. You can literally see that on the previous 4-hour candle. So yeah, it just looks like we want to go a tiny bit lower maybe. So it could be a little bit preemptive. You maybe want to just let this develop into Tuesday. My favorite days to trade on are definitely Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like without a doubt. And we probably have a lot of like data and Fed bollocks coming in as well. Not that I'm really paying any attention to that at all at the moment. Like literally zero attention. I haven't looked at news or, to be fair, I scroll X a little bit on the train, but I haven't really looked at any news or like any of these data or events at all, to be honest. But yeah, some things look actually kind of interesting. So on the daily, you just get like the fib and go, okay, we're nearly in the pocket. Where's the major zone? We're kind of just doing the bearish retest to go right into it. Could be time to potentially get some up. And because this was such a fast, violent drop, we've definitely got some untapped like liquidity up above us. I can definitely just eyeball and see some of it. But yeah, in general, what actually happened with Fartcoin? Because I might have been hit on a few bids. $1, maybe just one. Maybe just one. Render's actually not doing well at all. I think I've been stopped out of this. Yeah, I'm not in this render trade anymore. I got hit on this big wick candle and then just placed my stop like sort of just like under here. So we've also bearishly retested that level. So that was actually not really like that really that good of a trade at all, to be fair. But hey ho, mistakes are made, especially when you try to set orders sometimes. But yeah, in general, still not really worried. Like I'm gonna bid some of these levels pretty hard. I've been super patient recently, so yeah. Anyone got anything for me to look at? Morning, Jack. How's the Griffin going, buddy? My average is 0.63. Yeah, let's have a look at Griffin actually, because I did set a few spot bids after one of our streams. I think I've been hit on both of them. So, oh damn, this is just not what I want to look at the moment. Let's get the MDX chart. Oh, this is the MDX chart. Let's get the KuCoin chart out. So yeah, we're just back in the range. We can draw a fib from this low to this high. Right on the 86. We kind of don't really want to lose this May and March level now. We're basically on the level to hold. The very local price action, we closed above, but we've done a bullish retest. We want to hold this really badly right now, actually. Otherwise, we risk going a little bit lower, but yeah, I mean, this is just somewhere that you would be looking to bid anyway. And even if it does just that, it's a 60% gain. It's not a bad trade, is it? Not a bad trade. I don't know why. I don't see why we should be getting cold feet now. We should definitely be looking to start bidding some of this shit. So I've probably been hit on a couple of mine, which I need to update some stuff after this stream. But yeah, we really want to hold this, to be honest, to make it look really good. So like I said, definitely watch these 4-hour closes and maybe wait. Maybe be a bit patient if you're intraday trading till tomorrow or later today for the daily close, wherever you are. I think tomorrow we'll probably have a lot more clarity in the market, especially as this was a weekend dump. I'm always a bit skeptical. Sorry, excuse me. I'm always a bit skeptical about moves on the weekend. A lot of the time they just get reversed on Tuesday. But yeah, we do have support where we are. We're literally at support at the moment, so definitely an interesting one. Is anyone leverage shading that by out of interest? Sorry. If you are, you're absolutely mental. Could you also look at AI6? Yeah, let's have a look at that. I actually like that coin. Not to trade, but it moves like crack. Oh, it's on Binance. Crazy. So, oof, we've got that's been tested. That's just been tested. Kind of getting bearishly retested off that. This is definitely an interesting one. So let me just look at the weekly. It looks like it's trying to farm out some sort of like weekly structure. This has just been rejected off the daily weekly. I would like to see this hold June. Just kind of like that little bubble right there. Because if it were to do that, then you might see a break of that and you could like take it higher into here. Again, it's just looking like we're getting rejected off this very local swing, which also happens to be the daily weekly open. So right now, it's looking a bit. However, let's just turn on these bands. Yeah, it's not really giving us anything. That on the hourly looks like a very clean local breakdown to me. It's definitely going to go and test June. This is where you could maybe make a play. Sorry. You could possibly make a play somewhere in here. No, no. That's what I'm thinking. There's definitely some trades coming up though. If you missed any rejections of the daily weekly open, then you've probably missed the shorts. They were the easy ones. I'm not sure if you're going to get another one. If you get another one, it won't go up to the daily weekly open. It will probably like reject somewhere there. Let me just take the. This is just a general rule of thumb of anything at the moment. It probably won't come up to daily weekly. It'll probably come up to there if you do see like a little bounce. But yeah, you probably want to look for maybe some scalp longs now on everything. If I was watching this retest, I probably would have taken that. Let me just have a look at the 15-minute. Yeah, it looks perfect. It's literally perfect. I love that shit. I actually love that shit so much. I didn't quite get into the band actually. Did get the W reversal on the daily weekly open. 1.5% stop. Yeah, I mean, just like the thing is, like I obviously have a well worked out system, but if I see something on the price action that I like, for example, like a bearish like a breakdown, very local breakdown, a bearish retest of the weekly open. If the risk is fine, just take the trade. Like I don't really care about risking 1 to 2%. 2%'s a little bit more. 1.5, okay, cool. I like to risk 2% if it hits all my or most of my criteria. But yeah, sometimes if it's like 1%, I'll just take it because it's like if you're scared of using 1 to 2%, then you have a problem in your brain. So yeah, I guess we'll have a look at some other stuff. It's very interesting that the hyperliquid coins are holding up the best. So, for example, like Filecoin and Hype. I actually am super interested to see what the like max volume. Do you know what? Let me get that up. If you just bear with me a second. Hyper. How do I find? Hold on. I'm not sharing my screen, am I? You can see the charts, okay? Because I need to log into my wallet. Oh wait, I don't think I even need to. I just want to see what has the most volume. Funding? No, it's not funding comparison. It's is it leaderboard? No, that's wallets. Stats maybe? No, this is the exchange stats. Ah, so you sent it in once and it was like, what has the most volume? I mean, I guess we can look at funding comparison at least. So it's obviously Bitcoin, Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, Fartcoin, XRP, Pepe are the top. Ah, how did he send me that? Points maybe? No, not points. Anyway, man, I do love this. I do love it. It's pretty decent, isn't it? It's pretty fucking decent. Love to get your views on Pyth and Dupe and Arkham. Yeah. So Pyth, I believe, is what chain's this on? I can't remember what it's on, but it's on something that I kind of like. I think it's an interesting one. If I just look at this chart, we obviously have a low here that we are basically just on. Also happens to be a weekly. That's a bearish retest. This chart doesn't look that good at all, to be honest. It leaves a lot to be desired from a technical perspective. I mean, if I just go back to this, we're just bearishly retesting levels and going lower since pretty much since here, since this break there, and that was also at the start of the year. So this is just something that, I mean, if you like the project, you like the project, but from a technical perspective, there's a lot of other altcoins that are looking so much better, and this is just still in a very confirmed downtrend on the weekly time frame. I don't think I would buy any of this. On the other hand, just to play devil's advocate, it is at its like low. So if you didn't have any of it, it's a very simple buy, break that, put your stop in like, I don't know, 7%. You could buy this on 1x lev and just like be like, okay, cool. Or maybe even the 4 hour. Let's have a look at this. It's actually, do you know what we should do? We should have a look at the 12 hour. Yeah, I just don't like that. I really don't like that. That's not looking good. I actually had a bit of faith in this project as well. But yeah, not looking good. Not looking good at all, bud. Dupe. So my thoughts on Dupe, everyone I think knows famously. I was famously in this Discord just before I got made a mentor. Actually, it must have been the start of last year, start of 2024. And I last bull run I was heavily into the Solana ecosystem, so I had a load of wallets, like maybe like 4 or 5, that were like heavily using, you know, like Magic Eden, Solana, and all that shit. And I went into Phantom to claim my Jupiter airdrop. It was inside Phantom. It was one of those, when you open Phantom and you have like the news that's like just scrolling, you can like, yeah, whatever. It was like claim your airdrop. I was like, okay, cool. Like it's not from Phantom themselves, but it's like sorry, it's not from Jupiter themselves, but because it's in Phantom, I kind of was like, it's probably going to be legit. Anyway, long story short, I claimed my airdrop, I got quite a lot of tokens, and then 3 days later, all my wallets got drained. And from then on, I've absolutely hated Jupiter. But it's a really good aggregator, like very, very good decks. Um, yeah. So I hate them, but they're a good project. In terms of this chart, again, this sorry, excuse me. Ooh. We need to start. We need to hold this quite badly. We need to hold May pretty badly actually on this chart. Otherwise, we also have a lower low on the 4 hour, so we need to hold 485 to 475 ish area, which also happens to be major support. So yeah, this is also going to come lower, and this is going to be right for a bid as well. So everything that we were talking about maybe like a week or two ago, just being patient with alts when we were up here, your patience is finally going to pay off, I think, this week. And yeah, you can definitely bid some of this. For example, this range is about 4%, so yeah, 1 or 2x, fine. I like Jupiter as a project, so just because I chat shit about it, it's just a personal vendetta that I have against them. So yeah, this is looking way better for me. If you start losing that, then it starts looking really bad. By the way, like really bad. This is major support. It also happens to be the band. Yeah. Also, once we do this into support, we're going to bull div on the 4 hour massively. So yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. That's pretty good. Next, what else did you say? Arkham. Arkham. So Arkham's actually cool. I know Arkham is actually used in people's analysis and like tracking of wallets. So they also have that AI thing going for them. I don't think they're like mad, like they're not mad into AI, but this has fucking done something, hasn't it? Jesus. Jesus. Jeez Louise. Hmm. Damn, this is looking definitely interesting. We're definitely coming to like in slash coming to the level to potentially bid this. Uh, that was quite a nice test. So we have a low, a high. Sorry, I promise you, I've been through puberty, guys. I've just been ill. A higher high and a higher low. We really need to hold this low. This low is super important. The lows on most altcoins from the beginning of May are going to be very important. And yeah, just very locally, it's looking like it's yeah, looking like it wants to go a little bit lower into the overlapping support. Again, the same with this. You could definitely bid some of this in this area. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do some bidding at some point this week. Watch it just be really boring, and then when I'm on my way to Tokyo, like Excuse me. When I'm doing like a traveling day to Tokyo, it's all gonna just fucking pop off. But yeah, Pyth not looking good. Dupe and Arkham looking pretty decent. Potentially coming to an area to bid. So yeah, apart from that, one thing that's actually looking really bad is Tia. This has actually made new lows, and I'm in a fucking, and I actually bid those lows, and it literally just ripped straight for it. So whoopsie, mistakes were made. Um, Unfortunately, and to be honest, from there, it's just looking super giga wrecked, isn't it? Oh well, shit happens. I'm getting text the fuck out of. Unless this can like miraculously like this is giga hopium, but unless this can miraculously like hold that and then like close above the weekly or June, oof, looking wrecked. But this is like something that looks way worse than Jupiter or Arkham, for example. Yeah, renders also drop that level as well. We need to start holding some of this stuff. Otherwise, it looks giga erect. The giga erect. ARM is actually something that is also holding up relatively well compared to the rest of the market. It's obviously breaking down right now, which is not surprising, but for sure, definitely interesting. Giga support in here as well. I think that would be quite a healthy retrace. So yeah, that's oh, injectives also. Fuck, that looks really bad, doesn't it? Some things look okay, some things look really bad. Oh, that's giving me an aneurysm. This is literally at the level to hold. Sorry, what is going on here? We literally need to hold right here, and it doesn't look that good. I don't think that's gonna hold. It doesn't look like it's gonna hold at all. Alex Becker goes on about Talbot being a good way to get in town. Pops harder than Tau when it pumps. I actually have heard a lot about Talbot as well. I don't know anything about it though because when I was meant to do some research on it, it was literally it must have been in April. So it was like a week before the 100k party, and it was just one of those things I never looked at. But I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool. I'll save that for later, and you just never get, you just never look at it again. But I've also heard good things about it. I'm not really sure how if Alex Becker is that trustworthy, but you know, it's I like Tau. I definitely like Tau. So Talbot, if it's legitimate, I see it being also pretty good. But yeah, I think that is maybe going to be it for me today. Does anyone have anything else that they want me to look at just before I go, or I might stop my recording so we can just yeah. Uh, how long's my recording? 45 minutes. It's kind of a perfect length for a recording. If not, I think